I want to tell you guys a story. My story begins as a youth when I didn't have locks. And I went to Jamaica one time. And I was always fascinated with growing my hair out. But I never knew how or what I would do with it when it was long. I end up in Jamaica around 6 or 7 years old, and I see Rasta men on the street corner for the first time in my life. Long, luscious dreads down their backs, some being elder dreads that are tinged yellow and white and gray. Some tinged from the sun, blonde and light brown to dark brown. Many wearing them in tams, big tams on the back of their head. And I always thought, damn, that's fascinating. And I was always been inspired by dreads since that moment. And I've always wondered, how do I grow my hair like this? Because, you know, I look at these Rasta men, I'm like, they're Jamaicans. I look at my dad, I'm like, he's Jamaican. I'm partially Jamaican. How does my hair grow into locks like this? And it honestly took me 20 years to figure out that, you know, if I just don't brush it, it does that. And then during this time, when I actually started dreads the first time, you know, I was freaking out because I tried crocheting, I tried backcombing, I tried to twist them up. And then eventually I found interlocking, which did it. But I didn't know that it was bad for my hair. So after 7 years of interlocking, cut them off, as you saw on this channel. And then only 2 months after cutting off my dreads, I decided to grow them back. Stronger than ever by just leaving them this time around and letting them grow in thick and natural. With no force and no manipulation. And this is what we got now. The product of the environment is some free forms. Kind of dry a little bit. So I do got to keep up on the oiling. But I am loving these locks more than ever nowadays. And as you can see, yes, my forehead does grow. But I think that just comes with getting older in life. Not worried about going bald, because honestly, if I was going bald, I would still rock the dreads until they fall out. These are staying into the day that they fall out. Even if the top falls out and I still got locks on the side, still rocking that look too. So I'm a dreadhead for life. Are you? Wagwan, it's that guy. Not Locs, not Nation. Today we're doing a dreadlock review of the subscribers kind. I'm just killing it this morning on these recordings, trying to get in 3 a day as I should be. So without any further ado, let's hop right into this dreadlock review of the subscribers dreads number 33, I believe. And here we go. This guy's talking. I started this dread with 3B, 3C. Hair curly was a step. What step could you use to maintain curly dreads? Because mine getting all frizzy. Crochet hook would help with that. When you should wash frizzy real fast and hair try to puff up and curl. And when should you wash having curly hair texture dreads? Wash it after a month. If you can wash your dreads after a month of getting them put in, they're gonna stay in longer and they're not gonna come out after that first wash. But these looking like they're pretty locked up already. It looked like they've been crocheted a little bit too. So I would just say, you know, give it a couple more weeks before you really wash them again, and then really get in there, and they're gonna stay in. And I like that they're actually pretty thick too. So I like that what you've done here, NLB Juice. Send me some updates when they're longer. Show me that you'd stay dedicated to this process. Appreciate that. What? I don't know what's going on here. Are these even real? They don't look real to me. I've combined a lot of my dreads to make them bigger. Started off with 3 to 4 inches of hair. Twisted my hair with a gel. It's been 2 months. I was wondering how I could help my hair lock faster. Everybody wants their hair to lock faster, when really it's a slow process. So just accept that and let them lock up on their own at their own speed. There's no really need to accelerate them. These locks being baby locks, honestly, and they will lock in time. Just leave them. It looks like they've already locked up pretty well. So you're on the right track. You know, you don't really got to worry about anything. Yo, those are sick, except for the name. I'm not really sure who this dude is, but those locks actually looking pretty fire in those first pictures there. Looking like some freeform dreads, and there's a little bit of bleach been added to there as well. There's a little bit of a taper going on the side and on the front too. And this is where he started from. So they're looking a little bit free-formed, I must say. And I think it's a great look for people to be doing this as well. Keep it up. Comb coil method still got a long way to go. Comb coil dreads, you can see the top is longer than the sides. That's cool. Nothing's gonna really matter about that. They will all kind of even out later. Might take a long time for that to happen, but he's got 2-lot. I got a lot 2-lot Congos, but that video would have been too long. So a lot of his dreads are coming together into fishtail dreads, essentially. And his locks actually looking pretty fire. Reminds me of Lil Tecca. If Lil Tecca continued his hair into dreads, they would turn out like this. So obviously this dude's hair better than Lil Tecca's, because he actually locked up. And I did post him on the Instagram page as well. You guys can send me videos and pictures on Instagram, not_nation. Also on Snapchat too. The next subscriber dread video is going to be on Snapchat actually, so send me some locks over there. If you want to be featured in the next video, a reaction to this Instagram page. Okay, so the Wick Lady has some pretty awesome clients that come through her shop. Bart Simpson dreads right away here. You can see this shit is real, and she does this work as wicks. She is the real Wick Lady, Wick Nation, Wick Master, and she's a master of no thread, no rubber bands dread. I don't know exactly how she does it, but she's definitely making very big waves happen in Miami and in Florida right now, because she's able to combine locks like no other. And see how they combine from the left and combine to the right, and the end results, like, that's insane. These are the type of outrageous dreads that I actually want to have one day. My next set of dreads, I would want them to be like this, just crazy, standing on end, thick as fuck, just not really giving a damn. You know, I'm interested in how she does that. So check out the Wick Lady on Instagram if you haven't already. I will do a more in-depth review of that page in the future, but that was a good little taste of it right there. I've had my high top dreads for 2.7 years. Started with a twist sponge, began freeforming ever since. And this dude looks young. I like to see youngins getting their dreads done up, because when I was a kid, it wasn't really acceptable to have dreads, to be honest. And that's even like in the 90s. But nowadays, it's a lot more common for kids to have locks, because the generation of myself that have kids are letting their kids grow locks. It's awesome to see this. So this kid definitely needs to keep on freeforming for another 2.5 years, and you're gonna have some serious Zaylock 23 dreads. These dreads looking pretty crazy. These dreads looking pretty insane right now, because they are very long. These dreads are very long, and some of them being bleached, some of them not, some darker than the other. New growth, very nice up here as well. 6 years, yo, shout outs for the 6 years of those locks, man, that's insane. Editing idea: when you do dread reviews, send updates, show the update in the previous one. It's hard to do that, because it's hard to even keep track of who's sent in before and whatnot. I'm doing these as best as I can right now. I'm my own editor, I'm my own producer on these videos, but it is a good idea in the future to try and do some of that. I get what you're meaning. I've thought of that stuff before. This guy's dreads looking like they're working. The rubber bands down here by the scalp is not necessary. You don't need to have rubber bands down here for any reason at all. This new growth will lock in on its own, but what you're actually doing here is just increasing your risk of your dreads wearing out at these spots by having rubber bands down there. You're actually thinning your dreads out by putting those there. You don't even need them. If you look at the rest of your dread, they're all locked up. Your tips are blunted. Like, these dreads aren't coming out. They're not going anywhere. So my advice is take out the rubber bands, let your scalp breathe a little more, and they're gonna be a lot happier, these dreads. You don't need to do anymore. And they might even start congoing together, which isn't a bad thing because those locks are really thin. You'll get stronger roots if you let them congo up a bit more. So big ups to that guy, but I'm that guy. Cool, kind of looking like Wicks. Did the Wick lady stop by here? You can also see that he's also has rubber bands on the bottoms as well. My advice again, don't do the rubber banding. It's not necessary. And screw anybody that tells you that you need to rubber band your dreads at the roots like that, because it's not true. I've been meaning to ask you for some advice. 2 years, I've just settled watching vids. Just started watching vids. Want to send you my 1-year update. Freeform locks sometime, okay? I think it's necessary to wrap your hair when you're sleeping with a tight cap or any cap. It's not necessary. My locks are pretty much formed and combined. Will it help with getting it matted? Say natty. If anything, wear a silk hat, a silk sleeve at night. It just helps keep shit out. If you want to help with your hair tightening, use a wool tam, a big wool tam at night. That will help your locks. Or have a wool pillowcase so your hair can just freely rub on that all night, and it will also help with your dreadlock processing at night. That's the best that I can really answer that question. I don't have a visual for you on those pillowcases or anything, but that's the best idea I can think of for you. All right, so these dreads looking high topped, only a couple years in, kind of twisted, you know, very chill, very casual looking locks. All right, so I remember this dude from before. He did send in his videos on another update, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this dude's locks because we have already discussed them in the past, but they are high top and they are ponytailed back, looking pretty dope. You have a question. I'm doing free forms and using the sponge. I have good texture hair. Anytime my hair kind of comes down, so you think I should wait while on washing my hair, like a wash once a week? Yeah, wash twice a week even, especially if you're just starting it out. And when you do wash, use cold water. Use the cold water, it will really help. Dreads for about 1 year and 4 months. If you want to see my full dread journey, you can go on my profile, G4GHK. Locks looking pretty dope. He's got a lot of them on his head, so they are going to be pretty thin. Bleach tips. High top here with that one long dread hanging out, and his ends are actually pretty wispy, so there's no bluntage or anything happening there. Looking pretty good. We got another high top dread here with some more bleach tips happening, and he's also got some clasps in his hair as well here. It's a really cool jewelry idea. Blunted tips on these dreads and lots of frizzy hair. I like to see that. Frizzy hair being amazing because it just boosts confidence, really. You know, one solid. Started with finger twists and I was inspired. It kind of looks like NLE Choppa, even the hairstyle as well. Now I know Choppa doesn't really have dreads, but they could be dreads really simple. And these dreads, you know, will turn out pretty well in the long term. Just gotta keep on growing them and not separating, and I feel like they're gonna be pretty sick. He's got the high top going on. People sending pictures. All right, next photo here, Huncho. These locks looking pretty cool. Looks like he's got a little bit of a side ponytail going on here. Real quick, been watching your videos since you cut your hair and started freeforming. I used to have locks, but I cut them in order to start freeforming after watching your videos. And if you want to start freeforming, you don't have to cut your current dread. Just grow it from that set of locks. You know, what you think? I think these look great. They look very small. You know, there's a lot of those dreads on his head, and now they look a little bit thicker. They could be joining up a bit. I think they look great, man. Stay dedicated and stay happy and stay grinding for that cash money, bro. Afro dreads looking dope. Yo, Not Nation, here are a couple pics. My 4-month semi freeform locks. So this dude's locks formed quite a bit just from 4 months. Now, he is showing us photos here from South Africa, I believe, and obviously a perfect climate to grow freeform dreads. Dude being a surfer, he's always in the salt water, which is actually going to help lock his hair up a lot quicker from the drying of the salt water in your hair. Always be sure to rinse out salt water as much as you can, but it does actually aid in growing locks if you can spend some time with some salt water in the sun. You'll be amazed at what it can do. I always recommend washing it out because sea salt in your hair can end up smelling off if you keep it in and you don't rinse it out for a few days. I've been there before. But yeah, his locks looking pretty sick. They're gonna be even better once they get some more length and they start to tighten up and mature. So definitely big ups to him for sending in those pictures. I appreciate that. 9.5 months of freeform. Whoa. The length will come, man. The length will come. Maybe this is an earlier photo or earlier video. But yeah, the length will be there, man. Some people's hair just grows slower than others. And freeforming can definitely take its time. I appreciate you sending in those videos, of course. And I just joined the vegan community over on Reddit to try and learn some more about veganism. I have been doing my best to try and continue a vegan diet as much as I can. This year has been pretty transformational for me in terms of doing that. I really feel like it's now more than ever that I need to apply myself and learning how to master this diet. And I don't know if you remember, but on this channel 10 years ago when I first launched this channel, one thing I did do was start a vegetarian journey that lasted maybe 6 months. I did make a video on here, very short, very brief, a long time ago. I bet you nobody really remembers it, but I did make a rant about going vegetarian. And since I tried the journey like that so long ago, and more recently, maybe 4 years ago in my past relationship, I decided that, you know, I still need to maintain and achieve that in my life to be strong and healthy and fit off of just plants. You know, I really do believe that you can get enough and more protein than you need from plants alone. There are so many vegetables out there that we don't even know of that are so good for us, and it's worth exploring and just experiencing this, because when you're stuck eating the same shit every single day, you kind of get sick of it, and when it's bad for you, it's making you sick as well. So it's better off that, you know, you cut some things out and start learning about new vegetables that you never had before that are going to help us live longer, help our dreads grow stronger. And at the end of the day, this channel is mainly about freeforming an organic, natural hairstyle. So what we perceive on the outside as natural, we should also do the same on our insides and be conscious of things that we put in our bodies as well. Just like how we're being conscious of what we're doing with our hair on the outside organically and naturally, I advise people to do the same with what they're putting in their bodies. And that's why now I am going on this vegan journey again, really trying to learn and dive in just about seeds and plants and beans and leafy greens that we need to eat, and things that we can eat on a regular basis that keep us full and happy and feeling alive and energetic, opposed to putting, you know, dead carcasses in our body that make us feel dead inside, make us feel lousy and lethargic, and it's just not the lifestyle that we really need to be living. So eat your peanut butter. I got some peanut butter here I'm gonna scoop in on right now because it's definitely full of nutrients and it's just peanuts. It's full of protein. And this is organic peanut butter as well. Just crushed peanuts fresh from the ground. Nothing better than that. Anyways, I'm going to sign off. Enough ranting for me on this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this subscribers dreads. Send me your videos on Snapchat for the next episode. Not_nation on Snapchat as well. And I'll definitely see you guys next time. So until then, peace out. One love. Stay happy and nappy, natty, whichever way you want to say it. And I'll see you guys in the next Dreadlock update. I'm gone. Adios.
The nation. Dreadlock.